One of my first paid gigs, this is totally true, was at a prison in LaGrange, Kentucky. They had shows there. Yeah, I performed in front of 200 inmates. And there is nothing that makes you feel shittier as a comic than to be performing and watching a couple inmates walk out. Because you know, they're just going back to their cell. That's it. There's not another room with like midnight bowling or laser tag. There aren't a lot of other options. Those inmates heard me telling jokes and they were like, you know what? I'd rather be alone in a cage right now. I would get stabbed very quickly in prison because I have sleep apnea, which, yeah. If you don't know what that is, that's a medical condition where you're so out of shape that sleep is just a little too much exercise for you. That's where I'm at in my life. I am not ready for the intense workout of lying in my bed for 8 hours. It could kill me, seriously. It's hard having sleep apnea. It's hard to meet women. You don't know the rules, you know? I learned recently that it's rather presumptuous to bring your CPAP machine on a first date. I had no idea. Show was at CPAP. She's like, what's that for? Just in case you get lucky tonight. My favorite moron is every year when it gets cold, there's always some moron who's like, if global warming's real, why so fucking cold right now? You know these people, if global warming's real, why so fucking cold? And it's like, dude, I actually have no idea. I don't know anything about global warming, which is unfortunate, because I will lose arguments to climate change deniers all the time. Because while they have all the wrong information, it turns out wrong information beats zero information. It totally does. I'll give you an example, right? I was in Uber recently, and the Uber driver was talking to me about transgender people in the military, right? It was a really fun ride. And at one point he said, I would never want to be in a foxhole with a transgender person. And usually I just ignore it, but I was annoyed, so I said to him, I was like, dude, if you were in a foxhole, you would have way bigger things to worry about. For example, why are you fighting in early 1900s trench warfare? That's what you should be concerned about, that you have apparently traveled through time to archaic battles and getting upset at the political correctness you find there. Hey man, call me old-fashioned, but I don't need no transgender fella hovering around while I'm pouring gunpowder into my musket. Call me traditional, all right? But I don't need no non-binary pansexual helping me push a battering ram into the door of the castle we're storming. I don't need that shit. Hey man, call me antiquated, all right? But I don't need no gender non-conforming hermaphrodite helping me fight off a lion in the motherfucking Coliseum. Call me atavistic, but I don't need no transandrogynous, aromantic, pangender, gender fluid, androsexual helping me dock a Viking ship off the Northumbrian coast of England in the island of Lindisfarne to attack the Church of St. Cuthbert in the year 8793. You know, I did that bit recently, and someone came up to me after the show, and they said there's actually been a foxhole in every war, up to the most modern one in Ukraine. So that bit is not true at all. That whole bit I worked on for a year. That is not accurate whatsoever. But you would never know, because wrong information beats zero information. As I got older, I thought I'd get less anxiety, but I just get more and more anxious. I have a therapist, and he's good, but the problem is whenever I tell him I'm anxious about something, he likes to remind me of the thing I'm like actually anxious about deep down, and it's always like a much worse thing. Last week I was talking to him, I told him I'm anxious when I fly, because I am. I freak out when I fly, I hyperventilate, and I sort of got, he goes, Ronan, you're not actually anxious about flying. What you're anxious about is dying without anyone loving you. I'd rather be anxious about the flight. I'd 100% rather be anxious about the flight. I am terrified of turbulence. Round of applause. Who's afraid of turbulence in here, huh? All right. So that's about half. And that's the thing I truly believe we're most divided on in this country. It's not the fucking pandemic. It's not fucking abortion. It's that on a plane, when it's shaking, half the people on that plane are convinced they're going to die. Just convinced. And the other half don't give a fuck. Don't give a shit. They don't even notice it's happening. They're just watching Cupcake Wars on their phone. They have no idea the person next to them's having a panic attack. They're just like, come on, that's way too many sprinkles on that cupcake, come on. And for those of you who didn't clap, I get it, you are correct. You shouldn't be scared, but you should be scared, you fucking asshole. You should be scared, because you're in a chair that's shaking in the sky. It's fucking shaking in the sky. You're never in a car and it's fucking shaking, but somehow when it's in the fucking clouds, you don't give a shit. And I don't get it. And I know some of you have statistics ready. You're like, well, actually, you have a greater chance of being fucked by a humpback whale than you do of getting taken down by turbulence. The odds of a koala bear punching you in the pussy on a Wednesday is far greater than a commercial airline going down in the United States. Go fuck yourself, all right? Because you trivialized our plight. That's the problem. You trivialized our plight. I was on a plane recently. It was flying. The chair is shaking. I'm praying to God. I'm fucking freaking out. I'm sweating. I'm like hyperventilating. I'm having a panic attack. I'm afraid I'm going to die alone. He was correct, my therapist. I'm freaking out. I'm hyperventilating. I'm praying. And the guy next to me is asleep. He's asleep. You don't get more different than that. And it was a deep sleep, too. I know, because I've been holding his hand for the last 5 minutes. I was like, can you wake up so I don't have to feel like a fucking pussy right now? That's how divided we are in this country. We're never going to come together on the vaccine. My nightmare was his lullaby right then. This is exciting. This is fun, man. Fucking comedy, you know? Comedy is hard. It's very hard, especially nowadays. Everyone's getting very sensitive. I don't know if you've noticed. Everyone's very sensitive. You can't say the right shit anymore. You don't know what to say. I was on a show recently. I said the word slut, right? This young woman stood up. She was like, you can't say that. I'm like, really? Because of politically correct bullshit? And she was like, no, because of your lisp. You can't say that. Fucking woke shit. It's out of control. I do have a lisp. Can you all hear it? All right. Your silence spoke volumes. Like, don't ask me. Hey, I like having a lisp. It's fun, you know, because a lisp is in the word lisp. Isn't that fun? I say I have a lisp, and you're like, yes, you do. I completely believe you. It's the only condition where when you say you have it, you prove you have it. Like when you say you have diarrhea, you don't shit your pants immediately. You're not like, I have diarrhea, fuck, why did I say the word? Oh, I got shit all over my pants, god damn it. People say weird stuff about the lisp. I was on a date once, this is totally true. I was talking and the girl goes, what's that accent? Where are you from? I I was like, the Looney Tunes. You recognize it? Not many people know that accent. I'm very impressed. We've really traveled around. People can be mean about the lisp. On YouTube recently, I posted a video and someone commented, maybe if you lost 40 pounds, you wouldn't have that lisp. I didn't get mad though. I used to get mad by that shit. I'm very zen now. He posted that. I just took a breath, calmed down, and flagged him for child pornography. Because that's one of the options on YouTube. I do that for everyone who's mean to me. Everyone. They're like, fuck you, you're fat. I'm like, well, the FBI's about to raid you, bitch. How do you feel about that? You hurt my feelings, you go to jail, okay? My mom is a lot. She's a lot. Lately, she's been changing the Netflix password to try to get me to call her. Some of you are laughing, some of you are like, that's a pretty good idea. I should try that with my kids. I'm not falling for it. I have Hulu. I'll just watch that. I don't give a shit. My mom's great, but she's a lot. She's a very loud Jewish mother. Like I was recently visiting her. This is totally true. I'm inside, and I just hear a yell from the front lawn. Oh my God! Renan! Come outside! There are 4 deer outside! It's incredible! Renan, come outside! There are 4 deer! 2 parents and 2 babies! It's amazing! Renan! Come outside! And then I came outside, and would you believe they were gone? Seriously, something had startled them and they had run away. Well, that's not true. One was still there. He had died of a heart attack. It was a lot. My mom is great, but she's been a 3rd grade teacher for like 50 years, and as a result, she could only talk to you like you're also 8 years old. It's very annoying. Even last week, she was like, your cousin Phil has been having an affair for 2 years, which is terrible, because he's married. And when you're married, it's very upsetting to find out your spouse is cheating on you. It is, and it can make her feel really sad. Have you ever felt sad before? So yeah, I'm feeling sad right fucking now. Because I'm 39 and you're talking to me like I'm a child. I am not a child. I am a grown adult. Talk to me like a grown adult. Now, what's the new Netflix password? As you get older, your values change, you know? Like, I'm still a liberal, but I'm not happy about that. It's hard being a liberal. I think the hardest part about being a liberal is knowing if that, like, a crazy person, like, stabbed me on the street, I'd have to be like, well, you had a hard life. The stab wound hurts, but not as much as the economic disadvantages you've had to go through. I'm bleeding out, but it's all white privilege. It's fine. Just throw me to the curb. It's weird being a liberal. You have mixed feelings. Like, I got mugged 2 years ago, right? And I was so relieved the guy was white. You have no idea. The cops were like, what did he look like? I got all smug. I was like, he was white. I bet you didn't expect that, you racist pieces of shit. I bet you didn't see that coming, you racist fucks. And then I got mugged again a year later, and the cops were like, what do you look like? And I was like, it's not important. How can you ask me that? I don't see color, seriously. It's upsetting as a liberal knowing that if society collapsed, conservatives are just better prepared in that situation. That's just a hard truth. Like, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm switching sides immediately. And so would you if you're a liberal. Which side do you want to be on when the fucking zombies come? Do you really want to be with a group that includes everyone? No, that group will die quickly. You want to be with a group that fucking loves guns and frankly hates outsiders. That's the group. That's true. Fucking xenophobia is bad, but it comes in handy with zombies. With zombies, you better build that fucking wall. I feel like I'm losing some of you. Listen, liberals, I'll convince you, it's okay. Liberals would not survive during a zombie apocalypse. They wouldn't. The zombies would come and liberals would be like, let's just let them in. They're a marginalized group. Let's just let the zombies, I'm sorry, I mean the alive impaired. Let's just... They eat people, but we eat cow. Every culture's different. You can't judge. I don't like either of them. I think they both suck, you know? Here's how you know they both suck, right? This is a thought experiment. Take both their views on gun control and imagine them trying to solve another problem in society using that fucked up logic, right? For instance, shark attacks. The extreme right would be like, the only way we can stop all of these shark attacks is by putting more sharks in the water. That's the only way. The only thing that can stop a bad shark is a good shark. We gotta dump more sharks in the water. There's no connection between sharks and shark attacks. Conservatives in the back trying hard not to laugh. There's no connection. There's no connection, man. The solution to the problem is more of the problem. And then the extreme left would be like, that's insane, okay? Clearly what we have to do is defund the Coast Guard. That's the only way. That's the only way. All lifeguards are bastards. I don't know, you know, but there's still some courage in society. You still see it, you know? Like I was at a hotel recently, and there was a giant sign outside the hotel that just said, at this hotel, we welcome all genders, races, and religions. And I was like, man, that takes a lot of balls. Seriously, to fucking follow a law? From 42 years ago? Over their water fountain, it said anyone can drink from here. I was like, wow, this is a pioneering hotel. This hotel does not fuck around. It's just, when you say something obvious like that, it just makes everyone uncomfortable. That's the problem, you know? If I was at a country club and they were like, hey, by the way, all Jews are welcomed here, I'd be like, well, now I don't feel welcomed. Because when you say something obvious, it makes you feel like the exact opposite thing has taken place. That's the effect. I'll give you another example to prove that. Let's say you're like at Red Lobster, right? And a waiter comes up and he's like, hey, by the way, just to let you know, no one here jerked off in the clam chowder. You'd be like, I didn't think anyone jerked off in the clam chowder. I had no thought that happened until you said that. Now that you said that, someone definitely jerked off in the clam chowder. That is 100% what happened. Growing up Jewish in Kentucky, people always ask the same thing. They're like, oh, you grew up Jewish in Kentucky. Did you grow up with a lot of anti-Semitism? And no, I did not. No one in Kentucky knew what a Jew was. They were not cultured enough to be anti-Semitic. Seriously, I tell people I was Jewish in Kentucky, I swear to God, they'd be like, which one's that again? They would say, which one's that again? Is that the one where you're like, you don't celebrate birthdays? Or the one where you like churn butter with the hat and the churning of the butter? Or the one where Tom Cruise is your savior? Which one? And I tell them, I'd be like, it's the one your God was raised as. Everyone in your Bible is a fucking Jew. How do you not know anything about Jews? See how awkward it gets when I say that? Because you try to forget that shit. You're like, they're not, yeah, they were all Jews. The New Testament is just a Chinese restaurant on Christmas. It's all Jews. If everyone in my Bible was fucking Amish, I would know something about the Amish. They're all Jews, and people forget that. People forget that. Or they don't forget, but they like to tell themselves, yeah, they were Jews in the New Testament, but they weren't, you know, Jewy. That's what you all tell yourself. You know, they weren't Jewy, they were just Jews. How do you know? You can't separate the Jew from the Jewy. They're all Jewy. First of all, God's Jewy from the get-go. From the get-go, it's a Jewy God. What's the opening line in the Bible? In the beginning, God said, let there be light, and it was good. Not great. Just good. Just good. Is that not some Larry David shit right away? Just God right away being like, it's pretty good. It could have been better if I had a little more time. But for the amount of time I had, it's pretty good. His mother was a Jew. That's a Jewish mother. Jesus' mother. She's always at the cross all stoic like this. That's not how a Jewish mother acts. That Jewish mother would have been freaking out when she saw Jesus on the cross. She would have been like, Jesus! Oh my God! Oh my God! Come down from there! Have you lost your mind? You were raised better than that! Come down! You're gonna catch a cold! Jesus, it's not too late! You can still become a lawyer! Like your cousin Herbie! I can send you the application! You can still go to law school! Jesus! Oh my God! There are 4 deer outside! Thank you. I did grow up with prejudice, though. I did grow up with prejudice in Kentucky, mostly from my grandpa, who was pretty racist. And whenever he said something racist, my mom would always say the same thing. She'd be like, well, he's from a different time. He's from a different time. And I'd be like, yeah, but the only problem with that is he's not. He's from right now. He was from a different time, and then time moved forward. And he's still in time. And I really believe this. I'm not trying to be preachy, but I really believe as you get older, your most important goal has got to be to make sure that there's no racism in your heart. Not at all. Not even an ounce of racism. Not even an ounce of racism in your heart. Not even an ounce. Yeah. Because once you get dementia, that shit's coming out. That shit's coming out. You spend your whole life hiding it. And then you get dementia and the KKK hoodie is coming right the fuck off. Dementia is just God hacking your private emails. It's just WikiLeaks for the soul. That's all it is. I see some old people in here looking scared. Because you know it's coming. Racism is just a fart you've been holding in for decades. Dementia's weird too. Dementia will make you forget family members, forget loved ones, but not that you hate a group of people. Hatred is literally the last thing to go. People with dementia are like, I hate Mexicans, I hate Puerto Ricans, now who are you and where am I? Sir, you're on a campaign stage running for president.